Hello everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you all had a wonderful Saturday today, right? We have all joined here to learn child psychology. I can see many of the past students who had joined for the introduction to psychology and counseling. Before starting further, I would like to confirm whether you can hear me clearly. So if you can hear me, can you please type in that you can hear me? It will be a great help. Okay, so someone asked. Hear me? Right? Okay, yeah, right. Let's see. Yeah. Yes, you will be getting the recording. This is recording will be provided. The first class recording will be provided for everyone. First class recording will be provided for everyone, Farvina, do not worry. All the classes recording will be provided for the students who are in the exclusive group, right? So, Parvina, I think you are in the exclusive group, so you will be getting the recording anyway, right? What was the other question? Cannot unmute. Yes, we have an honored guest today. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Marina Rifa is also here. It's an honor to have you here. Okay, okay, you cannot unmute. I think the setting has been done because the last time while I was doing the session, when the students were joining, they had unmuted and there was so many background noise. So that was the reason we had made sure that they cannot unmute themselves. So it will be not noisy. That was the reason. So I will be giving all of the students some chance. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Okay, I think that's about the, I think all of you can hear me clearly. So without further delay, Bismillah, we will start. Okay, right. So as you know, this is child psychology and managing ADHD. So obviously you will be learning what is child psychology in this course, right? What is child psychology, theories of child psychology, and then applications of the theories of child psychology, and what is ADHD and how to manage ADHD. So one of the key aspects in this course is that applications of the theories of child psychology. That is to say, you learn something doesn't mean that you will be able to use it in everyday life. On the படிச்சேண்டு அர்த்தம் அதை நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ண எலிமெண்ட் இல்ல, right? So the one of the key points is to applicate the knowledge. அது எப்படி அந்த knowledge நாங்க யூஸ் பண்றேன். For people who are handling the children most of the time, the parents, right? And then the teachers. For these people, right, this course will be very, very valuable, obviously. So they will be able to handle the children much more easily, right? So applications of the theories of child psychology, in which you will, after learning the theory, you will know how to use this theory in the classroom or at home. So it will be helpful for you, right? So that is the main regard. And one more aspect is to learn about ADHD, right? So these days, many children suffer from ADHD. ADHD is a common mental health disorder because it has been, widely spread because of the technological advances of the, population, because many children are having the privilege of using the phone at an early age. and in an early age. இந்த காலத்துல போன நல்ல பாவிக்கிற பிள்ளை. So that is a concern. ADHD உண்டாகிறதுக்கு one of the reasons that பொறக்க போக்குலயே பிள்ளைக்கு ADHD இருக்குது. That is phone-ஆல உண்டாகிறது, right? அதால உண்டாகிற ADHD இருக்குது. So we will be looking at all of this. We will be looking at what is child psychology. So child psychology, it is the science or study of child's mind and how it functions. Obviously, dear, child's mind is very different from an adult's mind. Okay, there is my voice is breaking up at times and frozen. Is it so still? Is my voice still breaking up? Is my voice still breaking up? It is still breaking up. Okay, is it okay now? What is happening? Is it okay now? It is okay now. Alhamdulillah. Great. Okay, Bismillah. Okay, so it is the science or study of child's mind and know how it functions. Obviously, it is a child's mind is very different from an adult's mind, right? An adult's mind has a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge, and the ability is quite different from a child's mind. And the child's ability is quite different. So in which age the child will be able to do certain levels of mathematical problems, certain levels of understanding. This is what we do in child psychology. And the mental health disorders for a child, right? They're very different from an adult. The things that they face and how can we help them. This is what we learn. Very interesting subject, child psychology, because it is widely used by many clinicians, and it is widely studied by many teachers because of the usage, right? Then let's look at the importance of child psychology. Why is it really important? When you think about other types of psychology like what do you call psychology, gerontology, knowledge, right? CBT. More than that, everyone are interested in child psychology. The reason is, everyone, most of them are associated with a child, right? So they need to be able to help the child, and then to they are the future of us, right? So we should be able to help them properly. So one of the importance of the child is to understand the child, right? And to know the psychological origin. Disorders like schizophrenia. Okay, schizophrenia you cannot cure it. Schizophrenia and noye soma kela. Ana delay pannelum பாரத, right? Twins and எடுப்பமே ஒரு ரெண்டு பிள்ளைக்கு schizophrenia இருக்குது. அப்ப நல்ல என்வாயரன்மெண்ட் கொடுத்து அந்த பிள்ளைக்கு இருக்கிற அந்த ஸ்கிசோஃப்ரெனியா வர நோயை டிலே பண்ணி அதோட சிம்டம்ஸ் நல்லா குறைக்கிறதுக்கும் மேலும் சைல்ட் சைக்காலஜியால அது ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் ப்ராசஸால. அதே நேரத்துல அதை கொடுக்காட்டி அது வார டைம் அப்படி அந்த 5 இயர்ஸ்க்கு வரணுமான ஸ்கிசோஃப்ரெனியா மேபி 10 years லேட் ஆகும். 5 years வரும், ரைட்? 5 yearsம் ப்ரெஷர்ஸ் தானே வாரது வரும். Schizophrenia will anyway come. If it is there, it will come. That is such a a disorder. That is such an unfortunate disorder. அந்த பரம் அது எப்படி அதோட சிம்டம்ஸ் நல்லாவே குறைக்கிறதுக்கு what can we do, right? So very important in that aspect. Original வருது to establish effective communication with the child, right? These children and the parent, child and the parent, the communication is very important, that they speak with each other properly. Okay, my voice is frozen again. Is my voice frozen again? What about now? Can you guys hear me now? Shifara, is my voice clear? It's okay for you. What about the others? Is it clear? Yes, it is clear for you. Okay, I hope all of you can hear me. Right, Bismillah. So to establish effective communication with the child. For example, many children these days are getting bullied and they tell school ku po viruppamilla. They don't want to go to the school. What is the reason that they don't want to go to the school? Have you, investigated? Children don't tell things without a reason. Obviously, there could be multitude of reasons. You know, reasons seeking school po viruppamilla. Ennaadu konjam paakonu, right? So இந்த நேரம் மேலான்னு சொல்ல போகல லேசினஸ் ஆயிருக்கோ யா மேபி லேசினஸ் பாட்டி எனக்கு விருப்பம் இல்லை யா ஓகே அதை தவிர எங்கேயாவது வேற என்ன ஆயிக்குதான்னு கொஞ்சம் பார்த்துக்கணும். We have to check. We don't know if the teacher is bullying the child. No, teacher வந்து மிச்சம் உரமாயிக்கிறாவா இல்லாட்டி மத்த புள்ளையில உரமாயிக்கிறா இல்லாட்டி the van uncle is bad. We don't know the real reason, right? The child obviously wouldn't be able to tell the discomfort. ஒழுங்கா அவங்களுக்கு நடக்கிற அநியாயத்தை உம்மமாருக்கு வாப்பமாருக்கு சொல்றதுக்கு விளங்காது. But if you don't communicate with them properly, they will hide it from you. So it's very important that you build a proper communication with the child to gain confidence of child and the parent, right? Some children, they don't want to tell what is happening at school. They feel inferior. And the other thing is, some parents, they love to make humiliate the child in front of the others. பாருங்க இவங்க இப்படி செஞ்சேன்னு புள்ளைய நல்ல மத்தோட முன்னுக்கு இன்சல்ட் பண்றேன். அந்த புள்ளையோட கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் என்ன நடக்கும்? ஒழிஞ்சு இட்ஸ் ஓவர், ரைட்? புள்ளையோட அந்த செல்ஃப் எஸ்டீம் இட்ஸ் கம்ப்ளீட்லி broken. உங்களுக்கு ஒரு செல்ஃப் எஸ்டீம் தானே, இதுக்கு மாதிரி தான் புள்ளைக்கு. அது புள்ளையோட செல்ஃப் எஸ்டீம் சாரி ஃப்ரெஜைல், இங்கட மாதிரி இல்ல. We have taken several blows in the case. Yeah, okay, alhamdulillah. But the child is not like that, like glass, more fragile. Adukkum vidam fragile, right? அப்ப அவங்களுக்குள்ளே வந்து மத்தவங்க முன்னுக்கு இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ண போது நான் கிண்டலுக்கு செய்யறேன். We just do it for fun, but it is very bad for the child. For the child's mind, it's like, oh, I'm this type of person, and அவங்களுக்கு பேசுறதுக்கு கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் எல்லாம் பேத்துடும், கணக்கு செய்யறதுக்கு எல்லாம் பேத்துடும். They will think of them as inferior forever because of you, because of a simple mistake, right? And to teach child and parent importance of primary and preventive care. There are things that fathers need to teach their children. சில பாடி பார்ட்ஸ் ஒருத்தருக்கும் தொட விடவானமென்று உண்மையோட வாப்பா பிள்ளைகளுக்கு சொல்லி கொடுக்கணும், right? You should never let anyone touch your mouth. You should never let anyone touch your chest. You should never let anyone touch your behind. You should never let anyone touch your private part, in the front and the back, right? அந்த இடத்துல தாருக்கும் தொட விடவானமென்று பிள்ளைகளுக்கு சொல்லி, yeah, you shouldn't speak with strangers. There should be a proper, communication, and parents should be able to teach this continuously. Or else they will tend to learn this, without your knowledge. It will be very bad. And to have a better treatment planning and interaction. Okay, so these are the importance of child psychology. This is what we will be learning, and this is the reason that we learn child psychology, and that this is why it's very important. All right. Okay, so we are going to be looking at the theories of child psychology. Actually, to be honest, there are so many types of theories of child psychology, but however, they are divided into 3 parts. Okay, so whoever is doing this course for the regards of using this as a, if you're wishing to sit for the exam, I suggest that you take a writing book. Okay, you take a notebook and take notes. It is necessary. All right, it is necessary because there will be an exam at the end of this certificate level course. There will be an achievement test. Achievement test. So you should be able to answer the questions similar to the introduction to psychology and counseling. We gave you the certificates, right? We provided you with the certificates, and alhamdulillah, you got the certificates with Allah's mercy. So similar to which we will be doing another achievement test for the child psychology as well. So I really recommend taking a writing book, so you will be able to take the necessary notes if that is important. And while I'm teaching you, if you did not understand any points, please ask me. I will be able to clarify it for you. Okay, so as I said, there are so many types of theories of child psychology. What is the meaning of theories of child psychology? புள்ளைகளை பத்தி அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்றதுக்கு, புள்ளையோட நாலேஜ டெஸ்ட் பண்றதுக்கு, புள்ளைகளுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி விஷயம் எது தெரியும்னு சொல்ற நிறைய தியரிஸ் இருக்குதா. Okay, those theories are actually divided into 3. However, we will be looking in our course only 2 parts we will be looking, because the third part is very big, which will not be able to cover up. So we will be looking at 2 main parts. What are they? That is psychodynamic theory. There are 3 psychodynamic theories, and then theories of learning and behavior development. Theories of learning and behavior development and psychodynamic theories. There are 2 theories. The notes will be provided. You don't have to worry. For the exclusive group, we will be providing you with the notes. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. However, you have to take your own notes. Own notes நீங்க எடுத்துக்கோங்க, right? நாங்க slides notes எப்படின்னு தருவோம். அப்ப நான் சொல்ற words meaning you should be able to write it down because it will be important. Okay. So psychodynamic theories, there are 3. There are 3 psychodynamic theories. Number 1, psychosexual or psychoanalytic theory. Who are famous psychologist Sigmund Freud. எல்லா இடத்துலயும் கேள்விப்படுற ஒரு சைக்காலஜிஸ்ட் தான் சிக்மண்ட் ஃப்ராய்ட்ன்றாரு. அவரோட புள்ளையில பத்தி இருக்கிற என்னது தியரி தான் psychosexual theory. Very interesting. However, not very what do you call empirically researched. அப்படின்னா நிறைய ஆட்களை வச்சு ரீசர்ச் பண்ணின ஒரு தியரி இல்ல, அப்பயும் widely accept பண்ணின ஒரு தியரி உண்டு. Research and prove பண்ணினது இல்ல, however it is accept பண்ணின ஒரு தியரி. So there is a difference. Accept பண்றேன்டா okay and accept பண்ணி இத படிச்சு கொடுத்து இதாக்கு. Research பண்றேன்டா ஒரு 100-200 புள்ளையில வச்சு இது உண்மையா நடக்குதான்னு பாக்குறது. That is research. If a theory is being researched, then it will be very powerful, right? It will be very powerful. அப்ப அது strong ஆன theory, இது நடக்குதுன்னு 100% சொல்றேன். But however, in theories that is not research, then you can't tell it உண்மையா பொய்யான்னு சொல்ல தெரியும், right? However, Sigmund Freud is such a psychologist. Sigmund Freud எப்படியான psychologist ன்னா stepping stone on the தந்தை, right? படியம் டீக்குதுன்னா psychologyல first படிய create பண்ற ஆட்கள் தான் இந்த Sigmund Freud என்ற எல்லாம் ஆட்கள், right? The first step is very important, this foundation. All right. If you have any question while I'm teaching, type it up. I'll be able to, reply to you. Okay. Then we have cognitive theory. Cognitive theory, haven't you heard in the introduction to psychology and counseling? I have taught you that Sean Piaget பத்தி நான் introduce பண்ணிக்கிறேன். Sean Piaget. Sean Piaget is a very, very, famous guy. He is also praised by Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein ஒரு praise பண்ணின ஒரு சைக்காலஜிஸ்ட் தான் ஷான் பியாஜெட். அவரோட child psychology theory, it's very, very, wonderful. புள்ளையில பத்தி understand பண்ற theory. Then we have psychosocial theory. Personally, I love, cognitive theory and the psychosocial theory. Erik Erikson's third theory, I love it. It's so beautiful, that Erik Erikson's theory. However, first of all, we have ABCD. We will be looking at psychosexual theory. Then we will be moving on to cognitive, psychosocial, and onwards. Right. And then we have, I'm just introducing you the theories. All right. We are not going to be learning it all at once. Just introducing. We have 3 months to learn. So no worries. Then we have theories of learning and behavior development. These go on the environment, the influence of environment. Opinion, they have a huge opinion on it. So for an example, social learning theory, Bandura, the number 4th theory. பெரிய ஆளுக்கு கிட்ட இருந்து படிக்கிறேன். For an example, நாங்க phone ஆசையா தொட்டு போகல. The child also wants the phone only. நாங்க குரான மிச்சம் தொட்டு அது எனக்கு ஒண்ணும் அது ஓதிக்க போகல, புள்ளையும் அதைத்தான் ஆசை வரும், ரைட்? நாங்க டைமுக்கு 5 times தொலை போகல, புள்ளைக்கும் ஆசை வரும் தொழுறதுக்கு. Obviously நாங்க சொல்ல தேவையில்ல. We don't have to tell pray. We don't have to tell. They will automatically pray because we pray, they will pray. That is social learning theory. We will be learning. I'll go from the below. Okay. Then we have hierarchy of needs, number 3. I'm going bottom. Okay, in 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going from there. So hierarchy of needs. Do you guys remember about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Right. basic needs complete avina than engalukku vandu matta needs idakelum. If we are able to breathe properly, then we will be thinking about eating. First moochu edikkiya madu porothan tindratha pathi yosipana. If we are full with our thirst and food and everything, then we will be looking about or eekirathukku nalla idam undu paapom. First of all, our food is very important, then only our safety, right? There are hierarchy of needs. When each step is completed, we can move to the other one. When the basic ones are not completed, we can't focus on the other one. So it's very important. And then a very useful theory for teachers and parents are classical and operant conditioning. There are so many thousands of examples. These two, the Pavlov's and operant conditioning. You can use it like, it's so wonderful. You can use it in the classroom in many areas. If you use it properly, the classical conditioning and operant conditioning will be very useful for the teachers specifically. Right. Then we will look at psychosexual theory. All right. Before going further, do you guys have any questions? If not, let me ask you guys a question. What is child psychology? Can you type in your answers? What is child psychology? Yes, I would prefer if you can answer. If you want, you can unmute and speak. I think, yeah, you can unmute yourself. If you want, you can type it. I rather prefer that you type it up, so it will be easier. What is child psychology? Who remembers? Yes, don't tell me you forgot that quickly. Should I pick a participant? No, that will be horrifying, right? If I pick a participant and ask, do you know what is child psychology, that person will be disappearing from the meeting within 1 second. Wouldn't that be very amazing and funny? Should I do that? No, I shouldn't, right? Okay, who knows what is child psychology? Yes, someone has answered private. I would like, rather than direct messages, that you would type it for me, in the for everyone, so everyone can see. Yes. Okay, Hamna has answered for everyone. The study of child's mind and how it functions. Wonderful. Very good. Good job. Wow. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's wonderful. Perfect. What about others? Do you remember? Okay, I just changed for another question. How many child psychology theories are we learning? How many theories are we learning? Are we learning? How many theories did I introduce? How many theories did I introduce? How many? I introduced 3. Okay. Are you sure? I think I introduced more than that. 6. Yes, Ilma. Yes, 6, wasn't it? It was 6. 2 parts, 2 types of child psychology theories are there. However, there were 6. Sorry, my count was wrong. 7, wasn't it? Who had Ilma? Was it you had told 6? I also remember it at 6, but however it was 7. Okay. Who introduced the theory of psychosexual theory? Who introduced the psychosexual theory? Who introduced psychosexual theory? It's an easy answer. Who introduced psychosexual theory? Of famous psychologist starting with S. Famous psychologist starting with S, the name. Yes, Ranatunga, wonderful. Sigmund Freud. Yeah, that guy is famous, Sigmund Freud. Wherever you go, he comes. In psychology, in whatever the field you touch, Sigmund Freud will be there. He's like, I'm here, present. All right. Okay. Sigmund Freud is very famous. All right. Let's move on to the psychosexual theory. All right. So Sigmund Freud, let's introduce this guy a little bit. He is the founder of psychoanalysis. He also introduced a theory of psychosexual development. He had a lexicon. Lexicon in the case, he introduced new words for psychology, right? The word id, it wasn't there before ego, it wasn't there before superego, there wasn't before. But in the words introduced pandre, lexicon. Lexicon the psychologists, pudiya words introduced pandre. Sigmund Freud had this tendency to introduce new words. Id, ego, superego, right? The dream interpretation, pre-association. Dream interpretation and naanga kandra kanavuvala vechi desires in, right? For an example, if we have, it is not 100%, widely accepted. However, it could be. For an example, if we have fear about spiders, dream about spiders, okay, and you were very scared about it, it could indicate that you're scared about spiders. Yeah. Or there were many subjective cases and the personal history of patients in the Sigmund Freud, the patient's history case studies subjective cases, right? அந்த patients dreams வெச்சு அந்த patients dreams வெச்சு அவங்க மனசுல என்னென்ன நினைச்சிக்கிறாங்க. For an example, one of the child was dreaming the father as a ghost, that is to say a very scary person. So அப்ப அதுல அர்த்தம் என்ன? அப்பக்கு பயம் என்ற அர்த்தம். He is scared about the father. Dream interpretation, the Sigmund Freud says your innate, your unconsciousness reveals your desires, your phobias, your fear, your needs through dream. உங்களோட தேவைகளை, உங்களோட பயத்தை, உங்களுக்கு இருக்கிற ஆசைகளை சிக்மண்ட் ஃப்ராய்ட் சொல்றாரு ட்ரீமால அது காட்டுமா உங்களோட அடிமனசா, unconscious, right? So he is Austrian neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis. He developed a set of therapeutic techniques centered on talk therapy. Talk therapy at that time was very new. Talk therapy என்றது சரி ஒரு புதுமையான ஒரு new innovation at that time. Now it is very common because of this guy only, okay? At that time it was very new. And many people think counselors are like, problem solvers. No, we don't solve problems. We can't solve problems. We don't have the ability to solve problems. Now what are we? We are like a balm, right? We are like a Panadol. We are like Panadine. If you think to be honest, we can't solve anyone's problem. We don't have the capability, right? எங்களுக்கு problem solve பண்றதுக்கு psychologist problem solve பண்ணல. உங்களுக்கு என்ன செய்யணும்? We can become a balm. We can become a Panadol, a Panadine for it. Not literally we can't, but we can just reduce the pain. Pain right? We can literally reduce the pain. When people come to the counselors and they talk, they release their all emotions and emotions release பண்ணுவாங்க. You don't know how helpful that speaking is, that talking is, how helpful அது கேட்டுக்கொண்டே இருந்து அப்படித்தான். And unconditional support கொடுக்கிறது, it is invaluable, so priceless. It just releases the mental stress from them completely. That is what we can become. Psychologists, that is the main thing that we can become. We can't give solutions. We just become there. We just stay there as a support. Okay, whether they crumble or they soar, we just can help them out. That's all. Just stay there as a support, right? So Freud's theory often taken an interest in clients' early life and relationship between the child and the parent. So he often says, if the parent was a very strict person, the child tends to be a very strict person. If the parent was a messy, disorganized person, then the child becomes a disorganized person. Obviously, the child mostly becomes a mirror image of the parent, right? Parents the relationship between the parent and the child is very important according to Sigmund Freud, specifically not the father and the child, specifically the mother. Mother is very important aspect in a child's life according to Sigmund Freud, right? Any questions? If you have, you can. Okay. If you have, you can type it up. I'm going to go further. Psychoanalytic and psychosexual theory. Okay, psychoanalytic, it has more aspects. Psychoanalytic or part on the psychosexual theory and okay. So individuals basic person சில parents understand பண்றதில்ல அந்த பிள்ளைகள் அழுந்தா என்ன கொஞ்சம் அலட்டுமே பிரச்சனை இல்ல some old people are there, you know, some young people also there. பிள்ளைகள் அழுந்தா பரவாயில்ல கொஞ்சம் அழ விடுங்க என்றே ஓ இட்ஸ் ஓகே பிள்ளைகள் அழுந்ததுக்கு பிரச்சனை இல்ல மிச்சம் அழ விடப்படாது ரைட் the 1 year உள்ளுக்கு அழுந்த சிறுக்கு we have to go quickly. பிள்ளைகள் உடனே அழுந்தா உடனே கிட்ட போகணும். தனிப்போம் இவர் என்ன தூக்கி தூக்கி பழகுறேன்றே some parents say அந்த இந்த நேரம் தூக்கி பழவினா தூக்கிக்கொண்டே இருக்கணும் தூக்கிக்கொண்டே தான் இருக்கணும். That is the thing. And the first year is very, you know, the children அந்த சிறுத்தை தூக்குறாங்க தூக்கினா அர்த்தம் எனக்கு இவங்க சப்போர்ட் பண்றாங்க இவங்க எனக்கு ஒத்த ரீக்கிறேன் அதுதான் நம்மளோட ரியலைசேஷன். இப்ப நீங்க அலப்போக்குல தூக்கங்காட்டி என்ன அர்த்தம் எனக்கு ஒத்தரும் இல்ல என்ற ரீசனிங் தான் உங்களுக்கு வரும். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். அப்ப ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர்ல ஒழுங்கா ஒரு சப்போர்ட் ஒன்று இருந்தா தான் செகண்ட் இயர் அப்படி அழகாதி டெவலப் ஆகும் ரைட். So the amount of support that you give பிள்ளைல அலட்டுமெண்ட் பார்த்து கொண்டிருக்கப்படாது. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர்ல எவ்வளவு தான் இருந்தாலும் whatever the temper tantrum that they put, you have to support them. What to do? Second year also similar to that, but you know, mothers know instinctively the cry, whether they are crying, you know, unrealistically, or whether they are trying to put a temper tantrum. However, the first 5 years, whatever they do, you know, you should tolerate. You should tolerate very much. However, the amount of tolerance will reduce from the first year to the 5th year, right? நீங்க கொடுக்கிற பொறுமை பிள்ளைக்கு கொடுக்கிற பொறுமை அவங்களோட அந்த டெம்பர் டான்ட்ரம் ஈக்கிற புள்ளி உண்டு அந்த டெம்பர் டான்ட்ரம் அழுந்து ஒரு இடத்துல எனக்கு இது ஓணுமெண்ட் கத்தி அழுந்து கேட்கிற புள்ளி ஒன்று கிட்ட நீங்க எப்படி நடந்து கொள்ளணும்டா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர்ல கேட்க போறது இல்ல. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர் ஆப்வியஸ்லி அப்படி அந்த பொறுமை லெவல் கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா குறைஞ்சு அதுக்கப்புறம் 5th இயர்ல நல்லவே இல்லாமவும் நீங்க அடிக்க போறது இல்ல. நம்ம சொல்றேன் இது செய்ய நடக்கலாம் ரைட். கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா அவங்கள வந்து மாத்துறேன். 5th yearல தான் you start to, you know, slowly change your attitude. Now this is not possible. I can't do this anymore. This is the way you are going to be done. Okay, you have to do the homework செஞ்சா தான் இது கிடைக்கும் right. The operant condition and classical condition you will learn positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. உங்களுக்கு அந்த first 5 years சொட்டு சொட்டா reduce பண்ணணும். ஆனா the way you give the support is very important. So imagine you're scolding the child within the 5 years. சொல்லுக்கு நீங்க ஒரு தடவை ஏசினா மத்த தடவை அவங்கள கிஸ் பண்ணணும். You have to kiss them at least 10 times. The amount of love that you have to give them, it's very 10 times கூடயா கொடுக்கணும் because they will remember the one time much more painfully. Yeah. Okay, I'm really sorry that I wasn't explaining in Tamil. I'll just continue to explain in English from now onwards. I try to do that. I just switch back to my native language often. Okay. Right. So early experiences with parents extensively shape development. Right. So, for example, if the parent was not attentive during the first 5 years or after that, the child will know no matter how much I cry, Mama will not care for me. Dada will not care for me. There is no one for me in this world. I am alone, right? So the early experiences with the children and the parents are very important. After that, they will be able to realize, you know, when the mother will say, when you go through a problem, it's okay, ma. You did well in this, you know, whatever this one. If the child falls, you're there to hold the child. It's okay, nothing happened. You just brush off the knee. You brush off the knee. It's okay. Was it painful? You support the child, right? When you don't support the child, what happens? They stand up on their own and they know that they are alone. Imagine it happening to yourself. You're falling down, all right? Imagine that happening to yourself. You're falling down and there are people around you. Nobody comes to help you out. How do you feel? Devastated, right? All alone. You feel like, what is happening? Am I not worth enough to come and help out? Okay, even if a stranger falls, what will you do? You will go and try to help out, right? So it is basic instinct. If the mother doesn't do that, if the father doesn't do that, if the guardian doesn't help out the child will come to the conclusion that they are not loved, that they are not lovable. If a child comes to a conclusion that they are not lovable, there is a huge problem, because with love there is a price to pay. Do you understand? A responsibility will come. I have to study. My mother loves me. I can't disappoint her. I have to study harder. I have to, look after her. I have to be a good person. There are some, expectations that needs to be fulfilled when the child is loved, right? When mother will tell, it will be nice if you can do this. When the mother says suggestively, not you have to do this, not rule, ordering the child, it will be nice if you can do this. The child will plan. Mama likes if mama likes when I do this. So the child will plan, I will do this somehow. The child is intelligent. Child is very intelligent, sometimes more than us. Okay, it's very funny when the parents tend to talk in another language and the child obviously understands. Mother and the father tends to talk in in Muslim families we do that. We tend to talk in Sinhala, thinking that the child doesn't understand Sinhala, but the child is, he or she is able to understand Sinhala properly because they are able to do it. They are intelligent. They are like a sponge that absorbs knowledge, right? Now we have, continuing that point, the psychosexual theory. Mind is not all conscious. Unconscious aspects of the mind need to be considered as well. Did you guys understand so far that what I taught you? Do you want me to repeat any part? Any part that needs to be repeated? None? You guys understood what I taught you? All right, that's great. If there is any parts that you did not understand, obviously I can explain it to you back again, right? So mind is not all conscious. Unconscious aspects of the mind also need to be considered. That is to say, we are not all conscious of the things that is happening around us. Okay. For an example, right now, I am focusing on this lesson. Am I not? I'm focusing on this lesson. While I'm focusing, I can hear the fan running, right? I can see the light over here. Now I'm focusing on the light and the fan. Okay? I can hear some slight background noise. It is there. So the unconscious is handling everything. All right. Even the smell, the light, fragrance that I can feel, everything the unconscious feels, right? And our hidden desires, sometimes we suppress it. Sometimes we suppress our desires. Sometimes we suppress our anger. All of this is inside our unconscious. Sometimes we don't even know we have certain abilities. Sometimes I could be a genius hacker. Who knows? Allah, I could be a genius hacker. Who knows? I have never tried it, so I don't know. Your abilities, everything will be hidden inside the unconscious, right? So once you try it, you will be able to know. Okay. You can understand here, right? Alhamdulillah, great. So according to Freud, he believed that personality is divided into three aspects. Id, ego, superego. It's very, very, very common, this theory. I think you might have heard it everywhere. But when you come to psychology, Sigmund Freud is very famous, so everyone start with this. This is the basics. If you don't know this, then it is, there's issue. So that's why I'm teaching this. So it deals with all the instincts, the desires, the fear, everything that is it. Okay, your basic needs, your basic desire, your fear, everything is controlled by the it. Yeah, if you want something, who is telling that? According to Sigmund Freud, that is it. Okay, if you get scared about something, who is feeling that? It's your it. That's what's feeling that. All right. So what is superego? Let's go for the superego. Superego is the one that looks at all the morality of the environment, the situation of the culture. So for an example, if you're a Muslim, you have a scripture that you need to follow. All right. If you're a Christian, you have a certain code. If you're a Sinhalese, you have a certain code. Similar to which you adhere, you tend to what do you call it? You tend to adjust according to your culture and try not to upset your culture because you want to be accepted by your own peers. You don't want to be rejected by your own peers. For an example, I don't want to be rejected by my own parents. So what do? I follow what they did. Okay. After that, after a while, I'll think, is it right? Is it wrong? Then I will be accepting or rejecting whatever. At first, when you're very small, okay, when you're born into a religion or into anything, when you see something, it's right or wrong. For an example, eating at a table, eating at the dinner table. Now, children at first trying to eat everything, putting everything in the mouth, and they will spread everything on the face. It is very messy when they eat. After a while, what happens? They don't eat like that. Imagine an adult eating everywhere and spreading the food everywhere. How will you say? What is this guy doing? Why is he eating like that? That's so weird. You would say that, right? Why is this guy eating so weirdly? So why do you feel like that? Because it is not accepted according to the moral conduct. Social conduct, it is not acceptable. This is wrong. So who set the rules? Is a society. Those rules, it is ingrained into you little by little. No, don't eat like that. The parents will teach you, don't eat like that. That is not nice. Okay, wipe your mouth, eat slowly, right? They will teach you, right? When they teach you, it is okay. All right. So then we have the ego. Now you want something and your superego says, no, it's wrong to ask, don't ask. However, your ego will come up with a plan to get it done somehow. You want the cake, but you can't, but the visitors are there. Imagine there's a scenario, visitors have bought some chocolate to your house, right? And you want to eat it. You want to eat it so badly. So imagine it's some kind of expensive chocolate and you're very hungry, all right? And you're craving for it, okay? And it is now restless. It wants to eat it somehow. And your superego says, what are you thinking? You have to tend to the guest. Why would you eat right now? The superego will say, we will eat after the guest will go. Or else your superego will come up with another plan. If you don't mind sharing, you will share with the guests and eat with them. Okay, you will come up with several plans. That is your ego, the reality. All right, then we have what is it? Obviously, I have explained this before. So let's go for the second point, based on pleasure principle. Pleasure principle. Okay, before asking what is telling what is pleasure principle, I would like if someone would tell me. This is pleasure principle. Who would like to explain what is pleasure principle? Have you heard about it before? Someone? What is pleasure principle? Anyone? You can type your answers if you're not comfortable with unmuting your mic. Pleasure principle. No idea? Okay. Everyone is born with this instinct. That is to say, seek pleasure, avoid pain. Seek pleasure, avoid pain. I'll type it for you. Write it down. This is not given in the note. I will surely ask, what is this in the exam paper? Seek pleasure. Shall I write happiness? Seek pleasure. Avoid pain. Avoid pain. Yeah. This is the rule. People tend to seek pleasure. They want pleasure and they avoid pain. They don't want pain. They will do anything to avoid the pain. Even if the pleasure is not given, I don't want pain. Right? So if the, trick that mothers and parents often do is, if you don't need this, buyer will come. If you don't need this, someone will take you, right? Because trying to induce fear in the children, right? Avoiding pain. Children, as adults, we tend to avoid pain and seek pleasure. We like if someone gives us a gift, if someone compliments us, if someone praises, oh wow, you have dressed so beautifully. If someone says that, I will feel good. Ah, really? Is that so? I will feel pleasure, right? So we humans have the tendency to, seek pleasure, avoid pain. That is pleasure principle. Please note it down. Okay. It is features of it present at birth, impulse ridden, strive for immediate pleasure and gratification, selfish and cannot withstand pain if retained, aggressive personality. So this is for children if retained. So that is to say, strive for immediate pleasure. It doesn't want to wait. It doesn't like waiting. Wait பண்ண விருப்பம் இல்லை. It doesn't like to wait. It always wants to have it now. That's why children, throw a temper tantrum, because it is only developed at the moment. Under the age of 5 years old, 5-year-old children, okay, they develop the id only first. It don't develop it. They only develop the id first. So what happens is, when they want something, they show it through the id. When you don't give them, what happens? They cry loudly. They don't know how to express it properly. Can they speak? They can't speak, right? They're innocent, no? They are innocent. They can't speak also properly. So how can they say, I want cake, I want water? How can they say properly? They can't say properly. So we have to be tolerating of them. Yeah, I know sometimes parents find it very difficult. They get tired also. True enough. But we have to remember that point constantly, right? It is the one which is developed. Their ego and superego is not developed properly. So we have to be very forgiving of them. Okay. And that is the main point, right? For immediate pleasure and gratification. Okay, they are selfish children specifically. It's okay. Them becoming selfish is okay. Children need to be selfish at the age of 5. Under the age of 5, children should be selfish, must be selfish. It's okay. If you tell a child to give a toy for someone else, don't ask them to share your toy. Will you share your car with someone else? If someone like, let's take a student who is here. Okay, Rifat Rizwan. Okay, Rifat. Imagine Rifat has a Lamborghini. Okay, and I'm saying, Rifat, please share your Lamborghini with Mudassira. Will Rifat share? No, he will say, why should I share? Similar to that, okay, if the parents say, share a toy with another child, will you? Why are you doing like this? The child doesn't need to share the toy. It is unfair, right? It is, if the child is sharing the toy, mashallah, it's so great, perfect, alhamdulillah. The child has a high morale, okay? If the child doesn't want to share, don't force the child to share. Don't, grab the toy from that child and give it to the other child. That is wrong. Don't do that. Because you couldn't do that, don't expect the child to do that. Okay, for the child, the toy is similar to the Lamborghini, right? So do not expect the child to do things that you wouldn't do. All right. Then we have ego. All right. Ego, after it develops slowly from the 2nd to the 6th month of life, ego develops, the mediator between the id and the superego, right? So based on the reality principle. What is reality principle? So the pressure principle was that, okay, which part would you want me to explain in Tamil? In the part Tamil explain one, no. Which part would you like me to explain in Tamil? You haven't mentioned. If you can explain the part that you want me to explain, or from here onwards, I'll mix both. So that's fine. Where was I? So we have the reality principle and non-reality, right? There are two, pleasure principle and reality principle. Reality principle is coming up with a plan on the vare, right? So you try to, if you want the cake now, you want the cake, that is the pressure principle. It is activating. And the reality principle will say, you can't get the cake as you want. Your ego will come up with a plan. Yeah, that is the reality principle. Simple as that. Trying to come up with a plan and understanding the situation and avoiding. So basically, I can put in one word, setting. Setting an environment in which moral conduct, moral and conduct is not disrupted while the needs of the ego, it is satisfied. It does satisfy pannikondu, we do the activity, right? We satisfy the id and then we try to do the activity. For an example, you want the cake, you can't eat the cake right now, so you want to grab the cake and eat it. But what happens? You ask your mama, you want the cake, so you point it out. The baby points out the cake. The mama understands, she wants the cake. Oh, yeah, wants the cake, and we will be able to understand that the child wants the cake. So here the reality principle is setting an environment in which the moral and the social conduct is not disrupted while the needs of the id is satisfied. We are satisfying the id within the rules of the social conduct. We are not disrupting any rules. Mudassira is asking whether we will be sending the PDF file. Yes, for the exclusive group we will be sending, not in the main one. All right. Where is it? Okay. Yeah. Second, then yeah, it modifies the id and from the executive part of the personality. So whether you're being emotional or whether you're being cool, level-headed, everything, the amount of ego and how it develops, it will be determined. For an example, dear, if your id is developed and it is not properly controlled by the ego, what kind of person would you be? Answer this question. Okay, tell me if your id is developed, okay, and your superego is not developed, what kind of person would that person be when that person grows up? Okay, it develop superego avalo develop ego ipo enna my personality ah irukum. What kind of personality would it be when the id is developed, superego is not that developed? What would it be? Imagine, you try to imagine. I'll type it for you. Imagine and tell me whether that person will be messy ana person disorganized person, or that person will be very strict. What kind of person? Two answers, okay? When it is developed, while the super ego is undeveloped. I can't say undeveloped, but it's fine. We'll just put it for now, undeveloped. The personality would be number one. Answer number one, disorganized. What is the answer? Strict. What is the answer? Id, developed, aviki, normal. Superego, undeveloped. Disorganized personality, strict personality. 1 or 2 is the answer. What is the answer? 1, Samira. What about others? What about others? Yeah, it is developed. Your pleasure principle is developed. The superego is undeveloped. Superego. Superego is undeveloped. What could your personality be? Yes, disorganized. Why the others are not answering? Was the question difficult? Was the question difficult? Try to understand there. It is developed. Okay, meaning the child does whatever they want, right? அதுக்கு தேவையானது ஒண்ணுமானது செய்வாங்க. superego already developed இல்ல, rules follow பண்றது இல்ல. அப்ப disorganized தானே அந்த personality. Then their personality will be completely disorganized. Imagine the other way around. It is not developed, it is controlled. Suppressed is the overly suppressed, while the superego is developed. What will happen? Disorganized or strict. When it is overly suppressed, while the superego is developed, what will happen? It is overly suppressed. தேவைவல நல்ல suppress பண்றேன். கேக்க உண்ட காண போக்கல இல்ல தின்ன தேவையில்ல, நான் டயட்ல இருக்கிறேன், தின்ன மாட்டேன். 6 hours நான் படிப்பேன். அப்படி கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணி superego அந்த ரூலை ஃபாலோ பண்ணணுமோ, நான் அவங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி செய்வேன், இவங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி செய்வேன், like so. Following the rules to the letter, what happens then? Will you develop a disorganized personality or will you develop a strict personality? What will happen? Try to imagine from your own perspective. Okay. 2. Obviously, very good. 2, right? Imagine a person who is very strict. இதுல எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஒரு கேக் கொண்ட காண போக்கல, unless they are allergic to cake or something, you know, even a person who is having allergic for a chocolate cake, something sweet, they will want to eat it. No, that is their eater. So other kind of I shouldn't eat this at all, it causes diabetic, it makes me obese. You think all the negative thoughts about the cake. It's just a cake, man, come on, right? You don't have to overreact about this, right? So if you're thinking so many negative thoughts while when you're just looking at a cake, then you could be a strict personality. You might have a strict personality, right? A disorganized personality person, you just have to look at your room to determine if you have a disorganized personality. If your room is very cluttered, you know, room card, and most of the time you might have a disorganized personality. If your room is very clean all the time, then you might have a strict personality, right? Okay, you have a medium average, sometimes is also there. Most of the time it will be average, but sometimes it will be very disorganized aspects. All right, we are going to be ending at this point. We will be stopping at this point. Notes will be provided in the exclusive group. All right, Shifara, would you please explain about the course payments and so on? I have the PDF over here.
Yes, sister, sure.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
This PDF will be provided for you.
ஓகே. எங்களோட ஸ்மார்ட் எஜுகேஷனல் சென்டரால் நடத்தப்படுற இந்த இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன் டு சைல்ட் சைக்காலஜி அண்ட் மேனேஜிங் ADHD காஸ்ட்டை பேமெண்ட் மெத்தட் தான் நான் நீங்கள் வந்து உங்களுக்கு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ண போகிறேன். இங்கே வந்து 2 பேமெண்ட் மெத்தட் இருக்குது. ஒன்று வந்து ஃபுல் பேமெண்ட், ரெண்டாவது வந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்து மந்த்லி பே பண்ணிடும். ஃபுல் பேமெண்ட் மெத்தடில் வந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு எக்ஸ்ட்ரா டிஸ்கவுண்ட் வந்து கிடைச்சிது. முதலாவது என்னோட இந்த கோர்ஸ்ட்டு வந்து என்னோட இந்த ஃபுல் கோர்ஸுக்கு வந்து 10,000 மாதிரி உங்களுக்கு வந்து காஸ்ட் ஆகும். ஆனால் நாங்கள் வந்து எங்களோட ஸ்மார்ட் எஜுகேஷனல் சென்டரால் நாங்கள் இதை உங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் குறைச்சி 8,000க்கு நாங்கள் இந்த கோர்ஸை வந்து உங்களுக்கு தரோம். அந்த இதில் உங்களுக்கு இந்த ஃபுல் பேமெண்ட் பண்ணுறாக்களுக்கு அந்த 8,000லேருந்து 1,500 வந்து டிஸ்கவுண்ட் கிடைக்கும். அப்போ நீங்கள் வந்து கோர்ஸ் ஃபீல வந்து ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் ஃபீ வந்து 1,500, கோர்ஸ் ஃபீ வந்து 5,000லேருந்து தான் உங்களுக்கு 1,500 டிஸ்கவுண்ட் கிடைக்கும். சர்டிஃபிகேட் ஃபீ வந்து 1,500 பே பண்ணணும். அப்போ நீங்கள் டோட்டலாக நீங்கள் பே பண்ண வேண்டியது 6,500. இது ஃபுல் பேமெண்ட் பண்ணுறாக்களுக்கு. மந்த்லி பேமெண்ட் பண்ணுறாக்களுக்கு அவங்களோட நீங்கள் வந்து கோர்ஸ் ஃபீ 8,000 பே பண்ணணும். ஆனால் உங்களுக்கு வந்து 3 மாதத்துக்கு உடச்சி பே பண்ணிடலாம். அப்படின்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் மந்த் வந்து உங்களோட கோர்ஸ் ஃபீ 2,000 அண்ட் ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் ஃபீ 1,500 ரெண்டையும் பே பண்ணணும். ரெண்டும் 3,500 நீங்கள் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் மந்த் பே பண்ணணும். செகண்ட் மந்த் வந்து நீங்கள் கோர்ஸ் ஃபீ 1,500 மட்டும்தான் பே பண்ணணும். தேர்ட் மந்த் வந்து கோர்ஸ் ஃபீ 1,500, சர்டிஃபிகேட் ஃபீ 1,500, 3,000 பே பண்ணணும். இது வந்து மந்த்லி பே பண்றாக்களுக்கு செகண்ட் பேமெண்ட் மெத்தட். ஃபர்ஸ்ட்ல பே பண்றாக்கள் வந்து ஃபுல்லா பே பண்ணோன்னே அவங்களுக்கு அது ஃபுல்லா 3 மந்த்துக்கும் சரி. அப்புறம் அவங்க எந்த பேமெண்ட்டும் பே பண்ண தேவையில்ல. மந்த்லி பே பண்ற ஆட்கள் வந்து இப்படி பே பண்ணா ஓகே. ஆனா நீங்க வந்து எக்ஸ்க்ளூசிவ் குரூப்புக்கு எட் ஆகணுமெண்டா நீங்க ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் ஃபீ 1,500 பே பண்ணினா மட்டும்தான் உங்களை எக்ஸ்க்ளூசிவ் குரூப்புக்கு ஆட் பண்ணுவோம். அதில் தான் உங்களுக்கு வந்து PDF வரும். மற்றது வந்து அடுத்தடுத்த கிளாஸஸ்ல ஜூம் லிங்க் எல்லாம் வரும் உங்களுக்கு. இன்ஷால்லா நீங்க வந்து இந்த பேமெண்ட் இன்னும் என்ன சரி உங்களுக்கு டீட்டெயில்ஸ் வேணும்டா 07593737359 நம்பருக்கு கால் பண்ணுங்க, இல்லாட்டி மெசேஜ் பண்ணி மற்ற டீட்டெயில்ஸை கேளுங்க. உங்களுக்கு வந்து பேங்க் டீட்டெயில்ஸ் எல்லாம் அங்க நான் வந்து உங்களுக்கு சென்ட் பண்ணுவேன் இன்ஷால்லா. ஓகே, உங்களுக்கு வந்து நீங்க இந்த கேட்டிக்கிறீங்க யாரோ கோர்ஸ் ஃபீ இந்த ஆன்லைன்ல வந்து எஸ் ஆன்லைன்ல பே பண்ணுங்க. உங்களுக்கு நான் பேமெண்ட் டீட்டெயில்ஸ் அண்ட் பேங்க் டீட்டெயில்ஸ் வந்து வாட்ஸ்அப்ல உங்களுக்கு பர்சனலா போட்டு இன்ஷால்லா எனக்கு வாட்ஸ்அப்ல மெசேஜ் பண்ணுங்க.
So I'll be explaining one more time in English as well. Thank you for your wonderful explanation, Shifara. So the full course fee is 8,000. All right, the course fee is 8,000, and you have, if you're going to pay the total amount, we will be giving you a discount of 1,500, in which you only have to pay 6,500. So if you're going to pay it all at once, just 6,500, just pay that, and then you will be enrolled for the full course, and you'll be getting the certificate at the end of the course of that is 3 months. If you do not wish to pay it and the full amount 6,500, you can pay it little by little, which is first month you can pay 3,500, 1,500, and the 2,000, and in the second month you can pay 1,500, and the third month you will be able to pay 1,500, 1,500, 3,000 at the end. So this is the second installment method, and this is the first installment method. This payment method PDF will be given in the main group. Shifara, please send a group link so the people can join in and they will be able to get the PDF as well. Right. If you have any questions, contact my admin. She will be providing you with a wonderful helping. She will be helping you on 07537. Shifara, tell me your number, please. 075937937
07593737359.
Thank you. I just forgot the number for 1 second. So this is Shifara's number. You can contact her, and then she will guide you through the payment process and everything. The next class Zoom link will be provided only in the exclusive group, and you will also get the notes in the exclusive group only. All right. I hope the class was interesting and it was helpful towards you. I hope this class you will be, helpful in your career as well. If your parents, it will definitely be helping you. I mean, and I hope it will be a wonderful learning session for you. Okay, if you have any questions, this is a good time to ask, or else we can end the session. You can unmute and speak as well. Have given you the permission to speak, so you can speak if you wish so, or else. All right. In that case, I'm going to be ending the session then. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. Have a nice, have sweet dreams. It is almost night. Okay. Bye, everyone.